Can't serve two masters. For you will love one and despise the other. You will cling to one and shy away from the other. Can't serve two masters, both man and God. Can't serve two masters. One can't serve both mammon and God. Man is the real devil. Worldly pleasures, lust, greed, having sex for pleasure, and eating for pleasure. These are the real devil. Man. Depending on where you live at and your social demographic, the world will try to get you away from serving the living God. And I'll explain. If you live in a highly populated area, then you took a human trafficking as your social economic, as your way that you provide money to eat and live. Depending on the population, say you were in a highly densely populated area like New York or major cities, then your job would be in human trafficking. And it's very easy to explain, but harder to understand. The easiest way to explain this is that the more people you have in your population, in your city, the less jobs that you have that will actually be serving the living God. Meaning that if you took a profession, for example, in cosmetology or counseling or teaching or the criminal justice system or anything that involves a human being as a main resource, then your profession is as a profession anyways is serving the wrong God, mammon. And the real jobs that serve the living God would have to do with the quality of life and making improvements on those quality of life outside of internal mechanisms and internal feelings and everything that would involve a human being internally, things that you cannot see. The main battle that we fight, the unseen. That's a human trafficking and a slavery cycle and depending on whether or not you serve these guys, they will stop you from unlocking your spiritual gifts. If you have a spiritual gift, it will stop you from maturing it because in your profession, you would be advancing and maturing in those aspects, which would directly stop you from advancing and maturing in the spiritual aspects. Now, if you took a quality of life job, which there are not many, especially if you live in a highly populated area, there would be more people around than buildings and houses and things that would directly influence the quality of your life. I serve a living God, and He's sovereign, He governs all. Even the devil moves at His accord, adorned with weapons, and I'm a carpenter. As was Jesus a carpenter, serving the living God, trying to improve the quality of life. By directly improving the quality of life, He was able to advance His spiritual gifts at a rapid level. And I'm 32 now, and I'm seeing my spiritual gift mature, and I'm being gifted with others, and I'm being able to identify and proficiently gauge gifts in others. My gift of understanding and knowledge are at full maturity. I have basic discernment, which will never mature because the gift of understanding blocks my gift of discernment from ever maturing. My gift of discernment is basic, and some people can earn it. Sometimes it's given to you, and depending on whether you earn it or it's given to you, is how you will know that it is from God. I have friends with the gift of charisma and the gift of discernment, and that their gifts are mature. I've seen people with both of the charisma and discernment, and I'm seeing I have a friend with a mature gift of discernment and a mature gift of understanding, but a basic gift of knowledge that possibly will never mature because of his discernment. I need to make a will or a chart of somehow because there are not too many people who are able to describe these things in detail and tell you how the worlds will stop you or how the worldly professions influence your gifts from ever developing. But I'm trying to start and teach with what I have, and I hope if you are watching me or listening to me that you get to gain, if not insight, then you get to gain a understanding so that you can get your gifts in the line and hopefully get things right. I've seen death and looked it right in the eyes and told it that I was ready to die many times because I refuse to serve any other God but the God of life. And if it comes to a time where I have to give my life to keep serving the living God, then I do what I must and I return because my soul, my spirit, it just won't die. It refuses to die. And even if you take my life in this world, you won't win. You'll never win because it wasn't yours to take. It was mine to lay down. And every time I looked death in the face, I chose to lay it down freely. So even if you took my life, you didn't win because it was my life to lay down. And I return once again, adorned with weapons,